Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video. This video here is really to show you how to edit the organizational chart for the Wildland Firefighter Apprenticeship program and how to edit the schemes of colors on these on this org chart. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to go over a few shortcuts that are that I use frequently throughout this video, and maybe they can come in handy to you guys and ladies. Real quick, one of them is you notice me zooming in and out pretty easily. What you need to do is select one of the objects that you want to zoom into, and after you select it, hold down the control button on your keyboard just below the shift button on your left hand side, lower left corner. Holding down the control button, if you have a mouse with a scroller on it, go ahead and scroll upward, and what it's going to do is automatically zoom into the item you have selected. And then if you hold the control button down and then actually scroll downward, it's going to zoom out. So that's how I zoom in and out pretty quickly in this video. So if you can't do that, what you do is also, if you have a laptop and just a little mouse pad on it and no actual mouse, you can actually select an object and then use two fingers and just pinch it and then zoom in that way, and then basically move your fingers apart to zoom in and then pull your fingers together to zoom out. Another quick shortcut I use a lot of is Control C and Control V. You guys shouldn't be using that too much, but it's a nice handy trick. So if you select something, press Control C, you want to copy it, and then if you press Control V, it's going to paste it right next to it. So that way you pretty much copied the same exact object without having to go through the whole mouse click maneuvers of doing it. So another one I like to use if I mess something up real bad. So let's say like this, I just all of a sudden move this way the heck over here, and it's not supposed to be over there. So what you're going to do is hold down Control and press the Z button, and that actually moves you a step backward, so you can hopefully try and reverse any accidents you did. If you find yourself making accidents, you can use that little shortcut. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started here. On this second slide here, you're going to see what I have labeled as Crew Color Palette. It's going to have 8 colors. These are the colors when I was there at the Wildland Apprenticeship helping that we used for the crews. If it's changed, feel free to update it. But for now, this is what I have set up to make it easier for you guys to just pick the color, because these colors were colors that I set up and then saved them into this own little palette thing here, so that way you don't have to try and figure out what color it should be. So what we're going to do is, since that little color palette isn't on this first slide here where the org chart is, what we're going to do is copy this over to our first slide. So we're going to click on it, press Control C, then we're going to go back to this first slide, then press Control V. Now that color palette has been copied to this page, so that way we can use it. And we'll move it down here a little more. Whoops. That's an actual image there, so if you move it, just press the Control Z button and just get it moved back to where it needs to go. We'll go down here and do this color palette right there, and we'll delete this after we're done because the main one's still on that second page. So let's say for here, like we got blue, green, red, and yellow going on right now. Let's say we need to change the colors to orange, brown, gray, and purple. So to do that, these items are all grouped together. So if I click on that box, there's actually 2 items within that one box. You've got this blue box with the curve in it. That is one object, and then just below that is the second object, which is a little circular looking thing just kind of hiding out down below there, just to give it a little bit more of an accent or a more modern look for a flow chart. So when we're editing the colors for this org chart, we need to make sure we're not only clicking once, but if you highlight the whole thing, it's going to change not only this box, but that object's color too. So I'll make sure that we just change the color of this object where the text is in. So I'm going to click off to the side here one more time, and you'll notice another square popped up with these little round dots around it, so you can change the size of it. So that way it knows we're selecting that and not this one down below, because if you got that, just that little box, it means you're selecting that object behind it, and that's not the one that we want to change the color on. So make sure, select this box or this object. Once you select that, what you're going to want to do is go up to Format, and then what we're going to do is use what's called the eyelet or the eyedropper. So we want to change this to that color. So we have that selected. What we're going to do is go up here to Shape Fill. You see this eyedropper here. It's like a medicine looking tube thing. I'm going to select that. Now if you notice, anything I put the tip of that eyedropper onto, it changes a little box there to that color. And that's what we want to do, because that's telling me right now that I want to change the color of this shape to whatever color I have this eyedropper on. So since we're going to change it to this color scheme down here, orange, brown, gray, and purple, we're going to start out with orange. Once I get the little eyedropper there, I'm going to click on it, and it's going to end up changing the color of that box. We'll do the same for this one. Click it once. Make sure you click it for this the colored box that we want to change, not this lower one. And we'll go, and since the last color we used was orange, it's going to preset that orange color into this bucket right here, to where you don't have to use the eyedropper for this next one. You just click the little paint bucket, and it changes it. Because the last color we used was orange, was for this guy. So we'll kind of save that color for us to use again right there. And we'll go down here to yellow, and we're going to change this guy to brown. See how we use brown last. We're going to have to go into Shape Fill, under Format, Drawing Tools, because if you don't have an object selected, that tab is not up there. So you need to make sure that you then select the object, make sure we're selecting the object that when we change the color on. We don't want to change the color of this gray down here, just this one right here. Go to Shape Fill, get our eyedropper, and then hold it over the brown and click the brown. And we'll do the same thing here. Make sure we're selecting the proper object. And just click this paint bucket and it's going to change it to brown. And then same for these. Just like repetition, and then we'll go to eyedropper. We're going to change this one to gray. So then move it down to gray. So it's been changed to gray. We'll go back down to this next one for the assistant crew boss. Just click the little paint box, or the paint bottle, or tub. And then same for this red one, we're going to change that to purple. Make sure again we're selecting the object that we want to change the color of. Shape Fill, eyedropper, and then purple. And then once again, make sure we're selecting the proper object, and then click the little paint bucket. Voila. We got the color scheme set up for whatever you want. Up here is the title, so you can change this out. It's a text box, so you can change that from core to foundational. And just keep it, and how to spell here. So now you got foundational academy, and then you can change what number it is, whether it be 80 or 8 or 9 or 23, whatever. So, and then you got that. Now as far as editing text in these, just select an object you want to change the text in, and then zoom into it. And then what we're going to do is delete the name out of there. And then we can type whatever name we want to do. And then once you're done, just click somewhere randomly out here, and then it closes it up. And then same for zooming out, just control, and then zoom out with, or roll the mouse scroller down, and then there you go. That's how you change those color schemes for that. If you want to change the color of one of these boxes, or say you are wanting to change up the color scheme for these and you don't want to use these anymore, so you can select the item that you want to change the color on. So we'll go up to this guy. Then we're going to go over to this Format tab again. Remember, that's only going to show up if you have one of these objects selected. So click an object. Make sure you click it one more time to make sure we're selecting that colored box and that we're not just selecting both objects in there. Then we'll go to Format, and then shape fill. Instead of using eyedropper, we're going to go to more fill colors. Right in here, you've got this nice standard palette of colors you can select from. This one shows you the color that it's currently at, and then whatever you select, it compares it. So this is a pretty nice little palette of colors here that you can choose from. You got this little bar here where you can mess with the transparency if you want to. You can go under custom here, and this gets really in-depth color of as far as like allowing you to choose, so you can really get or fine-tune that color you want to use. You can make it lighter, you can make it darker as you move around. So, other than that, that's how you pretty much change the colors on that. Remember, you can just click in there to change the text. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, leave a note down in the comments below. Try and get back to you. Down below the video in the links, I'll have a link not only to this PowerPoint, so just in case you lose it or corrupt it, or you end up beyond belief messing it up to where you accidentally saved it and you don't know how to fix it, this fresh copy will be down below in the description with a link to that. You can download this the way it is now. Also down below in the link, again, I'll leave my email just in case any of you guys need to get a hold of me, or if there's a change that needs to happen to this chart, just let me know and I can make the change for you and reset it up, or add another tree to it, or add another structure to it, whatever. But other than that, yeah, feel free, have fun, change the colors how you want, and we'll talk to you later.